The National Security Committee of Cabinet has hatched a plan to rescue hundreds of Australians stranded in Hubei province. They'll be loaded onto a Qantas jet in Wuhan and flown to Christmas Island if all goes to plan.
We cannot give a guarantee that this operation is able to succeed.
The nation's most vulnerable will be given priority.
This will be done on a last-in, first-out basis. What that means is we're working with the community that has been identified there. For those who have been there who do not have an established support infrastructure in where they're living, we're particularly focused on the more vulnerable components of that population. That's young people, particularly infants, and those who are elderly.
Evacuees will be quarantined at Christmas Island for up to 14 days, but it could be longer, depending on advice from medical authorities. The operation will be a joint mission with New Zealand. Prime Minister Ardern saying, "We have confirmed that we will work together on a joint ANZAC-assisted departure of Australians and New Zealanders from Wuhan." Specific details of the evacuation plan, including the medical protocols that will be applied to returning New Zealanders and access arrangements on the ground in China, are being worked through by officials. The Department of Foreign Affairs has upgraded its advice for China to reconsider all travel. Residents are advised to avoid Hubei province altogether. This as the first case of human-to-human transmission is recorded in Europe.
We are convening an urgent meeting of all of our expert groups this afternoon to reconsider whether our medical advice should be changed.
In a major breakthrough, scientists in Melbourne have created a lab-grown version of the virus, a major step forward for researchers developing a new vaccine.
And that's important both in the clinical management of patients who may be late in the illness and past the point where they're shedding the virus that we detect with molecular techniques. And it's also really important for us to look at things like asymptomatic infection with the virus, that possibility, or mild infection that hasn't come to the attention of health authorities.
It's an incredibly exciting development to have grown the virus so quickly.
The Morrison government is also releasing up to 1 million face masks to the general public. A supply of 21.5 million will be made available if required. Charlotte Mortlock, Sky News Sydney.